Greetings and welcome to PinballHelp. Mike here. So work is continuing on this Bally Paragon machine. If you watched the previous episode, I demonstrated that it wouldn't boot up. It was giving me 3 flashes. So I've pulled the MPU board out, and I want to talk about what I'm initially seeing with this MPU board. So obviously it had battery in the past, and somebody cut that battery off and put a remote battery holder. But if you can see, this battery holder leaked too, although I don't think that's the cause of this problem. But what I am seeing is, look, see, this is flaking right here, see that? So what's happened is the previous battery damage was never fully mitigated. You see how this is, it's continuing to eat away at the board. So whoever originally serviced this board did not do a good enough job of cleaning the electrolyte off of the board from the original damage, and long after it's gone, it has continued to get sucked up into these traces and to cause damage. So if you look here, we flip the board around, you can see that the electrolyte damage has continued to go up underneath these traces, and this has continued to propagate. Look at that. Look at the, it's still there, and it's still causing damage. And see, it's close to one of these edge connectors there, and you can see there's oxidation here. This is all damage that probably happened long after the battery was gone, because that electrolyte is very corrosive, and it will just travel along these traces. So it's incredibly important. And look over here. Look at this. See, this ground plane is all. That can damage all of the contacts. Now, the problem with this board is related to the third flash, which means it's U10, which is going to be this guy right here. This is one of the PIA chips, peripheral interface adapter, I believe is what it stands for. So these 2 chips are part of the main controllers in the game, and they're very important. So this one is not passing its check. So I can see that there's a little bit of corrosion on some of these pins. I'm going to lift this up and clean it, and I may take the chip completely out, clean the sides, throw it back in, take a look at the sockets in there and make sure there's no corrosion. This is pretty far up on the thing, but this one is much lower. But I'm still kind of concerned. Look at the corrosion and how it's kind of encroaching into all this other stuff here. So this could be a scenario where somebody cut the battery off and they didn't do a good enough job, and when you clean all of this, you want to seal it. I like to use clear fingernail polish to just, you want to ideally bead blast it, hit it with vinegar to neutralize the base, and then wash it really, really good, dry it really, really good, and then seal all of this so that there's unlikely that it will continue to corrode. In this case, I don't even know if they just did anything other than cut the battery off and wipe it down, but it probably wasn't good enough, and the corrosion is continuing to eat into this board. I would like to save this board and not have to replace it with an All-Tech. That's the easy approach, which is not necessarily a bad idea if you've got the money, but I don't know. I'm going to look at this and see what I can do. We're going to first see if we can get this thing to boot up and make it work right. So that's kind of what I noticed right away is this board needs to be cleaned a little bit better than it was. So I'm going to clean it. I'm going to reseat these PIA peripherals. We haven't even, and I may take a look at the microprocessor up here too, and everything else. But that's kind of where we're at right now. And I'll look around, I'll look on the underside, and I'll check all of these solder joints to see if I see anything unusual. If none of that works, I could also try to reflow the solder joints here on U10 in case that's the problem. I don't see anything obvious, but I do see corrosion damage that's continued to happen that we're going to have to deal with. So that's where we're at right now. Stand by for another update in the next video, and we'll see where we're at. Until next time, thanks for watching.